Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is the 16th of October. It's taking me a while to actually get back going live, man. Not even going live, but just getting these videos done. The work is done, but finding the time to actually record has been it's been kind of grueling, man. So we'll get them all done, though. Look for them to finish. So we'll do the Southeast Conference today, and then we'll jump into the Western Conference in the next video. So if you haven't already had a chance and you're interested, go back and check out the Central and the Atlantic and the Eastern Conference. Today we'll be going through the Southeast, and then we'll start to get into the Western Conference, man. So let's dive into it, man. As always, hit the like button for me if you can as you join. Definitely helps out the algorithm, helps out the show. Let's jump into it for today. So we'll start with Jackson. I've given you guys one play per show so far. You guys let me know what you think of the plays in the description. But today I asked for a very similar prompt. I asked for the single best bet based on current markets for a futures bet, NBA futures bet. Jackson likes, and that's what we're sticking to, right? Jackson likes the Dallas Mavericks to make the playoffs at plus 115 odds. It says that the Mavericks are a top pick to make they're a top pick because they offer plus money at 115 on what is now highly probable outcomes. The front office had an exceptional offseason, addressing the biggest weakness, defense, and their depth with high impact additions. So the Mavericks ceiling is projected by some analysts to have a 55 to 58 wins, which could easily secure a playoff spot. This confidence stems from their defensive reinforcements. So you got elite rim protection. The trio Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively provides the Mavericks with elite rim protection, something they desperately lacked last season. Davis is particularly a top 20 player who anchors the defense. Backcourt reinforcements. So the team bolstered their backcourt by adding D'Angelo Russell, re-signing Dante Exum, who has developed into a solid two-way player. And then you got veteran additions. So the addition of Najee Marshall, Max Christie, who I wouldn't say is a veteran quite yet. PJ Washington, Klay Thompson provide deep rotation of capable two-way players who can contribute solid minutes, especially in the playoffs. And then the Kyrie Irving factor. So while the Western Conference is loaded, the Mavericks' outlook is further boosted by the status of Kyrie Irving. Although he is still recovering from the ACL injury, he's reportedly ahead of schedule and could return to the team by December. With Irving and Davis leading the veteran-laden roster, the Mavericks are built to withstand the Western Conference grind and should make the playoffs barring significant injury. So that is the play for Jackson today. As always, the link is in the description if you guys want to check Jackson out for any other sports or any other commentary or looks that you guys are thinking about. Use promo code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's, 2 N's when you sign up. But let's jump into it for today. We'll start off with the Atlanta Hawks. So let's go through Atlanta. Brief recap. So on the screen, you guys can see their recap of last season as far as offensive and defensive numbers, net rating, pace, and the ATS numbers as well. So last season, the Hawks finished 40-42. They finished 8th in the East, lost in the play-in tournament to the Orlando Magic, and then to the Miami Heat as well. I remember the Orlando game because we were fading Zachary Richelet against Orlando, and that worked out well for us. Fourth straight time that the Atlanta Hawks have actually made the tournament. Dyson Daniels ended up winning most improved player last year, was the first person in league history to average 3 steals in over 40 years. So Atlanta, got some more reinforcements this season, which is why their projected win total is a little bit higher. We'll talk about that in just a second. So Porzingis is there now, of course, coming over from Boston. Nickeil Alexander-Walker comes over from Minnesota. They get Luke Kennard in free agency as well. They do lose Clint Capella, but it doesn't seem like a big loss when you add Porzingis, as long as Porzingis can stay healthy. Karis LeVert left in free agency. Terrence Mann got traded to Brooklyn, of course. Larry Nance is now in Cleveland. Gorgeous Niang got traded, and David Roddy got waived. But the craziest thing about the addition piece for me in Atlanta, they still got Quinn Snyder as the coach. But the craziest thing for me is you get a healthy Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson was having a breakout season last year. So to have him back, it bolsters their front court. Like Jackson, Atlanta season win total, I think it was 46.5 in the last video that I made. And I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? This Atlanta team feels like, they're supposed to do something this year. They reshuffled the front office as well. like I said, Jalen Johnson, in my opinion, is going to be a big boost for them, especially if he can stay healthy throughout the rest of the season. Trae Young continues to just get even better with Tom. His assist average has gone up, I think, in like 4 or 5 straight seasons. He has an average north of 11.5 last season. And you add Porzingis, and you just need, like, the question mark with Porzingis is you just need him to stay healthy, right? Last season, he played a career low, just 42 games. Based on their media day availability, it sounds like the Hawks want to be more flexible in their front court. Now that they have a little bit of depth. You still got Onyeka Okongwu with Jalen Johnson and Porzingis, so you got to figure out who is going to be able to mesh well with who. But I think that they should be able to figure that out, in my opinion. I think they should be an even better rebounding team. This was one of the better rebounding teams last season. Adam Porzingis should help a little bit to that as well. And I think they'll still play fast. Last year, they were third in pace. You can see that on the screen. I think they're still going to get up and down the floor. Trae Young's still going to be a defensive liability, but I like the idea of being able to put other really good defensive players around him. Bringing over Porzingis is going to be helpful. As far as strength of schedule, they do have the third easiest strength of schedule. 10 games with the rest advantage, 10 games without. Season win total right now looks like it's 47.5, minus 105 on DraftKings at the time of this recording. And they're plus 175 if you think that they can knock off the Orlando Magic on FanDuel to win the division. So plus 175 to win the division. Second shortest odds right behind the Orlando Magic. If I'm betting Atlanta, I do think that I'm taking the over. The only reason I'm not going to officially bet the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm not going to have an unofficial bet on Atlanta either, is because I do worry about Porzingis. I think that the bar is set pretty high now with them having 47 wins, a 47.5 win total. If we just go back real quick, we look at the Hawks over the last few seasons. They've won last 4 years, 43, 41, 36, and 40. So the bar is set kind of high. An injury could, definitely set this team back a little bit. So we'll see if Porzingis can play and how many games he actually plays. They need to play more than that 42 for last season. All right, let's go through the Charlotte Hornets. So Charlotte was abysmal last year, man. This was a terrible team. See the numbers on the screen. Bottom 10 in pretty much every statistical category, well, all of the ones that matter. They also didn't finish even 500 ATS-wise either. They were 19 and 63 straight up last season. Finished 14th in the East. The only team that was worse was the Washington Wizards, of course. And, of course, they missed the playoffs. The Hornets win total dropped for the 4th consecutive season. And a lot of it had to do with injuries, of course, right? They saw LaMelo go down. Brandon Miller went down. And they ended back up in the draft lottery again. They also have the longest active playoff drought, 9 years. So Charlotte got to get right, man. We'll see what they can do this season. Brandon Miller, I talked about injuries. He only played 27 games last season. LaMelo played less than 50 again as well. And when we talk about additions, they add Pat Connaughton. They added Spencer Dinwiddie, although they just waived him. And I think they waived Spencer Dinwiddie because I don't know how much room they're going to have in that backcourt, man. You got Colin Sexton, who's been playing absolutely amazing in the preseason. They balled last night against Memphis. Kanaple, I think is how you pronounce his name. Absolute knockdown shooter. He's going to be really, really big for them because Charlotte was one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA last season. And then you bring over Mason Plumlee. I was watching the rerun of the Charlotte Hornets from last season. From last night when they played against the Memphis Grizzlies. And granted, Memphis was without Ja Morant. They were without a couple players, but the way Charlotte wants to play, they're not going to need like a humongous big that's going to be able to dominate, in my opinion. So I actually think that they legit have a chance with the front line that they have right now. Those rotational players, Diabate, him being the key one, in my opinion. They got the rookie as well. They have enough length, in my opinion, to be able to protect the rim. We'll see if they, can adapt to what the head coach wants them to do, which, of course, is shoot a bunch of threes and protect the rim, get out and run in transition, play a little bit faster, get this pace way up from 20th. But a lot of that has to do with LaMelo and Brandon Miller being able to stay healthy. They did lose Steph. They lost Micic. I think he's overseas now. Nurkic is gone. Okogie is gone, and Mark Williams, of course, is gone as well. But I like the drafting of Khan, man. I think he's going to help them shoot the ball a lot better. They were 29th in three-point shooting last season, bottom 10 2 years before that as well. And Brandon Miller being cleared in training camp, even though he's going to, have his wrist tape, I think it's been good so far. He's looked pretty good. I didn't even mention Miles Bridges. He's also looked pretty good. A lot better than I thought that he would. His 3-point shooting is always kind of scary. But Charles Lee, I think, is going to have his team, playing well. He did mention, the major adjustments being to the offense. He wants them to play faster. He wants quicker ball movement out the shots. He wants them to push in transition and create more spacing because I think they're going to shoot a bunch of threes this season. They need to make them. We'll see if that happens. But I'm not as keen on them needing a center though. And I think they got better. I think they absolutely got better, especially by adding Colin Sexton. Even if LaMelo goes down, Colin Sexton's the absolute dog. He's going to play hard on both ends of the floor. He can definitely run the offense as well. So I like this team, man. They as far as strength of schedule goes, they 12th most difficult strength of schedule, 7 games with the rest advantage, 10 without the rest, 10 where they'll be at the rest disadvantage. But they only projected at 25.5 wins this season. That number is moving up pretty quickly. In their plus 15,000 to win the division. I don't think they're going to win the division. But I look back at their season win totals just over the last 4 years, 43-39 in 2021, 27-55 in 22, which of course LaMelo is hurt for like pretty much all of these, 21-61 in 2023, and then 19-63 last season. You just need them to get to 26 wins, man. I said the same thing about the Charlotte Hornets last season. LaMelo, of course, got hurt. Brandon Miller got hurt. But I'm betting on the Charlotte Hornets this season, man. Flyer for me would be taking Charlotte over their team total. I think that they absolutely have a chance to be good. Like I think they could potentially fight for one of those play-in spots. And that'd be big for the Charlotte Hornets just to be able to get there. There's a lot of rumblings about LaMelo and him not, panning out based on the money that they paid him because he can't stay healthy. So I feel like they all kind of got a chip on their shoulder. Charles Lee, second-year head coach, having the system and being able to get an offseason in, return most of the key players. Like, I like Charlotte, man. I would bet over. When I first did this, when I was first looking at the number was 25.5. I think this number has been bumped up to 26.5 for their win total. But if I'm betting something on the Charlotte Hornets, I'm definitely taking the over on their win total. All right, let's move on to a team that I don't like as much. Just in general, I've never been a Miami Heat fan because it's really hard to figure Miami out, man. Last season, you could see played pretty good defense, 10th in defensive rating, 21st in offensive rating, about middle of the pack net rating, played super slow and didn't cover the spread as frequently as they probably would have liked to. Also didn't win enough games as they probably frequently would have liked to. They finished 37-45 straight up, 10th in the East, lost in the first round to Cleveland. I got smoked to Cleveland as well. It was their first sub 500 season since the 2018-2019 season. And it ended a 6 straight playoff appearance. They had dropped 10 straight games in March, and then they rallied to win 8 of their last 12 to get them into the play-in spot, and then clearly they just didn't have enough left in the tank. And, last season was the Jimmy Butler saga, and they finally, got him out of there. In addition to, like, over the course of the offseason, they added Simone Fontecchio for more three-point shooting. Norman Powell, of course, was traded over as well. They lose Kyle Anderson. Hayward Highsmith went to Brooklyn. Kevin Love is gone. And Duncan Robinson is now gone as well. So I think the big thing for Miami is and they do a pretty good job of developing players, but Khalil Ware has to step up really, really big time. He has a great anchor. A great mentor that is an anchor for the defense, and Bam Adebayo, of course. Still got Wiggins there as well. Tyler Hero's still there, even though he's been going through some injuries. I think Khalil Ware is going to be. I think he'll take a big step this season. I know he's been in the doghouse for Spoelstra at times, but he played really, really well last season. I don't want to get into all the numbers, but he was ranked for January 1st to the end of the regular season. He actually ranked first in total rebounds and rookies. Second in field goals made, third in blocks, fifth in points. And in the playoffs, he averaged the defense was 10. They allowed 10.1 points more per 100 possessions without him on the floor. So Khalil Ware, in my opinion, is going to be big. I like Davion Mitchell. He looked really, really great in the playoffs. If we remember back to him, playing really, really good basketball, kind of put the team on his back at certain points. Adding on Powell, who shot, really, really well from the 3-point line. He had a career best 22, averaged a career best 22 points last season. So I don't think Miami's going to be trash. I think that they can be pretty good. The problem that I have with Miami is, can they win close games? Last season, they actually lost more close games when they had double-digit leads than any team in like the last, I forgot how long it was. I probably should have wrote it down and added it to my notes, but that's the thing. Like, does Miami have a finisher? Are they going to be able to finish games? I'm not 100% sure about that, but they always draft well. I can't pronounce the guy's name that they drafted. Kasparis, I think is how you pronounce his name. I think he'll do pretty good for them. I like the defensive pieces that they have. I'm just not sure if they're going to have enough offense to be able to score. As far as the schedule, 13th most difficult, nine games with the rest advantage, 12 games without it. Projected win total sits around 36.5. And this is what you do, right? You take the Miami Heat win total under, and then they'll win 45 games. So I'm definitely not touching the Miami Heat. They've been an absolute, just too much of an inconsistent team for me. And this win total at 36.5, they've won 37 games 4 years in a row. So even last year when they struggled, they still got the 37 wins. And they had 46 the year before that, 44 and 53 in the 3 years respectively before last season. So I'm not betting the under. Still got a great coach in Eric Spoelstra. I'd only be able to bet the over. I think this team is sneaky every single year, and now they expect it to be on the lower end of the Eastern Conference. And I don't know, man. The East has some wide open spots. Why can't it be Miami? Why can't they be one of those play-in type teams? And I think that they will be. Potentially, maybe even make the playoffs without making a play-in. We'll see how it goes for the Miami Heat. I'm not going near the Miami Heat with a 10-foot pole before the season starts, though. That's just my thought process. And then we move on to the Orlando Magic, the favorite to win the Southeast Division. Last season, you can see the numbers. Offensively, they were atrocious. Had to watch them with a blindfold on, so your eyes wouldn't bleed. And then, of course, defensively, they look like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Second in defensive rating, which put them right at 17th overall. Pace, you can see, played really, really slow at 29th, and finished one game below, covering about 50% ATS-wise. And that's where they were straight up as well. 41 and 41 straight up, 7th in the Eastern Conference, first in the eliminated in the first round as well. And it was 4 straight seasons from 2020 to 2024 that they've increased their season win total from 21 to 22 and then 34. And then last season, 47. And then they dropped back-to-back seasons to 41 last season. And a large part of that was due to the injuries, right? Franz got hurt, Paolo went down, then Jalen Suggs went down, Mo Wagner went down, and those the two latter were seasoned into injury, so they never came back. So they go out, they retool a little bit, they re-sign Paolo, they re-sign Mo as well, add Desmond Bane, add Tyus Jones, and those are two really, really big additions because that should, kind of help this offense a lot. And I'm really, really big on, you guys know, I'm really, really big on defensive teams. Orlando is a team, especially with Jamal Mosley at the helm, who's going to anchor themselves on the defensive end. I think that they will continue to play within their defense. I think they also still have room to grow. Like, this is a young team, and they kind of need to win now, right? Like, they've assembled this team through the draft over the years. Paolo's in the league for a couple years now. Still has a little bit more room that he can grow in his game, even though he's an absolute monster. I think the same thing for Franz, him being able to shoot the 3-point shot, which always seems to kill them in the playoffs. I think he can get better at that. They cut ties with Cole Anthony. KCP, of course, got traded to Memphis for Desmond Bane. Gary Harris is gone. Caleb Houston is gone. But they got so much length and athleticism on this team, man. I love the Orlando Magic. Bane is going to help them shooting a lot, of course. He's a career 41% 3-point shooter. Orlando, of course, desperately needed. They made the fewest threes of any team last season, just 11.2 per game, and shot 31% from the 3-point line. Memphis was a -4 in defensive rating when Desmond Bane was on the floor, but I think he got enough reinforcements this season he'll play better defense because the people around him will play better defense. And I think Orlando will do a really good job of, help side, like playing good help side as well. Then you got the addition of Tyus Jones, just in case Jalen Suggs can't stay healthy. He finished second in assist to turnover ratio last season. Tyus Jones did. So having a healthy Jalen Suggs, I think will be big for them as well. He averaged before he got hurt, He was averaging a career high in points, rebounds, steals, blocks. Before he ended up having that season-ending knee surgery last season. Orlando was a plus 7.8 in net rating, and they had a defensive rating of 101.9, which ranks in the 99th percentile per cleaning the glass. When Franz and Paolo and Jalen Suggs were all on the floor together. Granted, it was only 207 possessions, but I think we should see more of that this season. I like Orlando. Orlando to the moon, in my opinion. Then we talk about media day. Coach Jamal Mosley underlined that the team expects to continue evolving. The emphasis was on being consistent, being accountable, pushing towards higher ceilings. And they also want to offensive rebound the basketball more, which we've seen in the preseason. And then the other thing that the Orlando Magic wanted to do was get out and run a little bit more. And I think that they will be able to run. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. As far as strength of schedule, 6 easiest strength of schedule, 11 games with the rest advantage, 12 games without. Projected win total sitting at 50.5. They're plus 160. They were a plus 160 to win the division on DraftKings. Favorites for the first time in forever, it feels like. We talk about Orlando, and we typically say that they're the little brother of the Miami Heat, which I think Miami is still giving them some runs, but Orlando will be favorites probably in all those games this season. I believe in defensive teams. Like I said, I believe in Coach Jamal Mosley. I like him as a coach. This kind of feels like a OKC out of the East. Like I said, they built this thing from the ground up. They've added a couple key pieces. The same way OKC added Isaiah Hardenstein and what's the guard name? Alex Caruso, or forward. He's more of a forward now. But yeah, I think Orlando will be really, really good, especially with the Eastern Conference being wide open. You just worry about injuries. But over their win total, if they stay healthy, I like it. I think that they win the division as well. I think the best number you can get is like a minus 150. I don't want to lay that much juice, but I do think that they win the division. I think that they're better than Atlanta. Atlanta may take a year to put it together, but I think Orlando is primed to win this division this season. So that's my thought process on Orlando. Last but not least, the Washington Wizards. Last season, terrible, man. 30th in offensive rating, 27th in defensive rating, worst net rating team in quite some time. I think they were like a minus 13 in net rating. We haven't seen that in quite a while. And ATS-wise, couldn't cover any games, but they played really, really fast, fourth in pace. They went 18-64, finished last in the East. This was after going 15-67 the year before. They were outscored by an average of 12.5 points per game, pretty much. They drafted Trey Jones. Chris Middleton's still there as well. They re-signed Marvin Bagley. Malachi Branham is there. Got Cam Whitmore. Got CJ McCollum for some veteran leadership. I wouldn't. So Sadiq Bey is gone. Jordan Poole, of course, got traded to New Orleans, and then Marcus Smart, of course, is in LA playing for the Lakers now. And I really wouldn't be surprised if CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton didn't finish the season with this team. I think that they'll be traded by the trade deadline. A lot of what I'm reading is sharing that, and it kind of makes sense, right? Or like Washington really has nothing to play for. They need to finish with one of the NBA worst 4 records this season to guarantee that they keep their first round pick, which is a top 8 protected pick to New York. So I think with that being said, the Washington Wizards will stink this season. Like player development, I think that'll happen. Like Sarr, I think he could take a leap. He averaged slightly below 16 points after the All-Star break when he got a little bit more confident last season. The team has 12 players that's under 24. And that is a recipe for losing in itself. Defensively, they'll be bad again, I think, in my opinion, especially when Sarr is off the floor. Last season, they had a 119 defensive rating, which was 19th percentile per cleaning the glass. With Sarr off the floor, it went up to 120.8. So if you're a Wizards fan, you're hoping for Bud Carrington to stay healthy. You want to see Bilal Koulibaly back as soon as possible, returning from his injury. But yeah, I don't think the Washington Wizards is going to make a lot of noise at all this season. I mean, nobody is, but I definitely think that they'll continue to get smoked. They'll have some veteran leadership at the beginning of the season, but I think that they'll continue to tank. Just another rebuild year for Washington. 10th in strength of schedule, 12 games with the rest of it is 12 games without. Projected win total sitting at 20.5. And we aren't even going to talk about them winning the division. That's absolutely not happening. So that's what I like as far as all the teams. The resources are listed here. Check them out if you guys are interested. Drop a like if you found the preview helpful. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on. The season is right around the corner. If I'm betting anything here, though, I'm betting Orlando. Probably, I guess, just their win total over, since I don't really like the I don't really like laying minus 150 for the full season. That's a little bit too juice for me, but I could have got a lot better number. I'm just was a little late to pull the trigger, but neither here nor there, man. Appreciate you guys for tapping in as always. NBA season right around the corner. I'll catch you guys in the next one.